Hi, welcome to this video on my Raspberry Pi with LED play. Because the topic is still to get C++ versions Python, and if you've watched previous episodes, you've seen that things don't go as intended and planned, and unfortunately there has been a problem added to this, because as you see, this is the RPi1 side, and when I go to the RPi2 side, this happens. The tight VNC viewer can't connect to the server, which is very unfortunate. So I'll try again with the same result. I already rebooted the RPi2, but to no avail. So if you look at this, I have only this to my availability, and that means that I can't use the on-screen camera, and I'll have to I don't have, I maybe have SSH to my availability. Let's try that in another tab, and then I should use the PI, and that should be this one. Yes. If the SSH server works, that is. In the meantime, I'll have to deal with this in the, which is a bit cumbersome, but when other things fail, it is the serial terminal that I'll have to use, and I'm very curious how that works out with the output. Let's see if that works out anyway. Yes, that crashes again. How does this work out? Not yet. So I just start it, and then of course I'll have to start the GPIO1 side as well, this one. This looks nice, but when I look at the breadboard, which you can't see at the moment, there is hardly anything happening. There's only one LED burning, which is on the RPi1 side, and it's burning steady. Looking here, there's a more variety of outputs. However, this is way too few variations, so I'm gonna quit this Let's go back to the source code. Let's see how the connection timed out. So that means that the SSH server is not running, unfortunately. I'll try to deal with that later. And here we see that the if statement is not active in here. Here it is. So there should at least be something going on this side. Here still runs. I'll abort this and let me put the camera on to show you what is indeed going on. So right now you see this LED and this LED burning, and the scripts are not running, or the programs anyway. So this is a remnant of the last time, and I'll start them again. Side Raspberry Pi 1 is started and 2 is started now. And there's no change at all, while there clearly should be. So let's abort Raspberry Pi 1 side. And start again. Nothing happening. Let's do the same for 2. And there's really nothing happening. So I think right now I should try to measure some values, but given the fact that all signals have been measured last time, there is something else going on, and I need to figure out exactly what, because this isn't helping. So back to the source code. It is also time to realize the same thing on Python as on C++ regarding cleanup of the LEDs. On C++, let me show you. I have right down in the code an if Ctrl+C pressed, and if so it stops gracefully, and here I want to do the same. So I first need here a definition. And for clarity I looked it up on the internet. So this is one. And now here I should have something like C pressed or Ctrl C pressed. I have no idea if this is going to work. But we'll see about that. If this is not working, we'll see soon enough. Oops. And that's an invalid syntax because of what? Okay, and here it is the same as oh yes, that is the point. I forgot a colon here, and rightfully invalid syntax. So let's try again. Unfortunately, not the result I was hoping for. So back to the drawing board on this one. And then it turned out to be quite simple. I don't need this, seemingly. A typical example of try and exception, which is often used in programming when you want to catch errors. So in for example C++, you use try catch, and in Java the same. However, in Python you use try except, and the except is then a keyboard interrupt, and followed by GPIO cleanup, which clears all LEDs. Well, it clears all GPIO pins, which means that all LEDs are going out. So let me try again before I show you. And yes, that works. So that's improvement. Which I will show you on cam, and then I'll show you also if this is going to work, because it's hard to show if two LEDs keep burning. So I'll set this ready on the one side and this on the two side, and let's see. So as you can see, all LEDs are off. and it's time to put things in action. Two LEDs immediately go on, and I'm afraid that is all that happens. So what I will do now is going back to the start and make it once again that this one influences only this one, and this one only this one, and this one only this one, like I did in the very beginning. So I press Ctrl C on both sides, and let me see how I can easily fix this. Oops. It's a little bit of code editing. And this is one thing. So let's run this. And this is a little bit awkward. No, it's not. At least I know the hardware is running right. So let's try for the RPi2 side. If that is alright. Shouldn't be too hard. It's just that I need to take out the if statements. Recompile again. Oops, that's one. And then I should have everything. And let's see for the RPi2 side. Which is surprisingly not doing anything at all. So that may be a cause of concern. So why does the RPi1 side work but not the RPi2 side? That's a very good question. And I can't find a real reason for that. So let's see again. And this is quite awkward, so I need to check on this. So on the Raspberry Pi 2 side, I'm going to try to debug. This is all the same, and here we get the code. As you can see, I have taken out the ifs. This is no problem. Input 31, and it just reads what it gets. But then again, it should put out all these values, which is not happening at all, as you could see in the camera. So the question is this wiring or not? I'm going to check out, because this is very strange. Alright, let's do it again. Inputs are being read, but they are 0. And right now, because of the ifs, the LED states are no longer dependent on the input states, but they are not burning. They are not burning at all. So what I'm going to do is to reboot this side once again, because with the VNC server not working, I'm not quite sure what does work correctly. And of course the GPIO state is dependent on the well working of the Raspberry Pi. So I end this side, and this is awkward. Scrolling back in commands, and this is the shutdown side. Oh, there we go. It's power down. Well, not really power down, but system wise it's power down now. Now it's power off. Reboot. Login. Normally I don't show you. So let's get the VNC server started again. I'll try to get this running. See, this is hopeful. I just wonder how long it's going to take. And here we have a camera working. And there you also see that the LEDs on the RPi1 side are working. slowly, but they are working. So now let's see what happens. Focus on these LEDs. That means these LEDs. And there's no difference at all. So this is quite a nuisance, because with none of the LEDs on the RPi2 side responding, I wonder what's wrong hardware wise or software wise. Software wise I can't imagine, but you never know. This is really bothersome. And you see, this is much easier to work with than through a serial monitor, as I showed you. If statements are out, so they just should do whatever. I might go check the working of the GPIO. That's really lower level debugging. But so far, I think I'm left with no other option. Which is too bad. So for now it's an end of this short experiment, and I have to check that. So in order to test the GPIO, I copied a hardware test, which I've used before on the RPi1 side, which is called PI GPIO, and a connecting test. And in order to do that, I have disconnected the band cable from the GPIO for best results. And you can read what it does. And let's see if I get errors and which ones. Okay, sudo then. I have to start the daemon. That's a good one. I haven't used it for a while, so again, how do I do that? Okay, just trying. It can't found. Yeah, that's a bit awkward, of course. Okay, I need to do some more research again. And while testing or trying to test the GPIO, the general purpose input output, I encounter a problem, because on the Raspberry Pi 1 the testing is quite simple. Sudo pi GPIO daemon, and daemon or daemon is like a service on Windows, so it's a service and a server item, and the program GPIO test uses that. But when I do it on the GPIO2 or the Raspberry Pi 2, command not found. Looking at all the permissions, it is quite simple that it should be working, and this is reportedly missing, but it's there. So the question is, why isn't this working? And without this I can't test it. Also, the VNC server is giving in, so without this I can't do anything, and the mystery remains that all the output on the of the LEDs are not working. So this leads me to one thing, the end of this episode, and I hope to solve this, because otherwise it is quickly over. For now, yeah, unfortunately nothing I can do except trying to test it. So thank you for watching, and I hope to be continued.